So folks, one of the biggest things that I think people need to stop doing on the internet is threatening people. It's the internet, okay? Relax. You're typing on a keyboard or on a phone. Stop doing it. I have always been a fan of, if you truly have a problem with someone, you handle it in person, and most of the time it's a problem that can be avoided by a simple conversation. And if it can't, then yeah, have a little mutual combat, shake hands after, have a beer, and go from there. I have personally been in that situation before. I'm happy to say it hasn't been a ton of times, but yeah, sometimes words are not enough and you just kind of have to go at it. We're all men here. But when people think they're badass, going online and making threats or doing it at a college, for example, it's a problem. We all care about safety. We all care about our families. We all care about our surroundings. I would hope. I know all of us here do. People don't mess around with that stuff. Which brings us to our story today. There was a student at Columbia who's arrested by ICE who helped lead an organization which called for the total eradication of Western civilization. Look, I just want to tell everybody something real quick. The people who are like, oh man, like these people would be screwed. They wouldn't know what to do without Western civilization. If we went back to the good old days, wagon wheel days, hunt for your food days, find your own water, find your own shelter, we would be completely fine. Because happiness, contentness, it's all relative and it's all scalable. You can scale it up or you can scale it down. It all depends on your mindset. If you know there's something better out there, like you're living in a hut somewhere in Africa and you see people in New York in these penthouses, yeah, maybe you're gonna be unhappy if you're a materialistic person. But if you're not, you understand that when you have what you need, everything else in terms of happiness comes from in here. So everybody who's like, oh no, if we got rid of everybody's iPhone, they would know what to do. Yeah. That's on your side. That's on the Democrat side. Not our side. We'd go out there and hunt. We go out there and shoot. We go out there and fish. We wouldn't miss a beat. I just want to make that clear because it's a little goofy.
Alien, he can be deported under U.S. law for if the Secretary of State has any reasonable ground to believe he would have a potentially serious adverse foreign policy consequence. And you mentioned the student organization. The student organization put out...
Let me finish. But before you move on, because I think that's a really important point, right? That's the statute that they're using.
What's important, that person be deported? Okay, hell yeah. Thank you. Thank you, CNN.
Yeah.
Have you seen any evidence to suggest that there is actually a serious reason to believe that this student is going to be a threat to national security?
I mean, I've certainly watched the abomination that's gone on at Columbia and Barnard and other places, and I will just tell you,
to national security.
And I'll just tell you that
I'm not going to let you move on because this is the
I'll tell you why it's a threat to national security if you let me answer you.
Well, Scott,
do you want me to answer you or not?
Okay.
His organization says we are dedicated fighting for the total eradication of Western civilization.
Okay.
He's not a citizen. He doesn't need to be here.
You just described him having viewpoints that you disagree with. Again, is that enough to have someone lose their rights in this country?
He has viewpoints that, in my opinion, jeopardize the security of the United States.
But how?
So it looks like people over there at CNN just have completely lost a sense of reality. My opinion may be a little bit wild to some people in terms of what should happen to somebody who threatens our way of living in America, Western society, whatever it is. In my personal opinion, there should be some treaty within all of the countries that we just have an island where people go that has nothing. You're going to smash coconuts open, you're going to drink water off of leaves, and you're going to go fish for the rest of your life. If you don't appreciate what you have here, this dude is at Columbia. Do you know how much it costs to go to Columbia? And somehow this dude is like, oh man, we got to destroy all of this. Why are you at that school? How hypocritical is that? You ever think about that? You're at a school that costs tens of thousands of dollars to go to every year. But somehow you're like, oh, we have to destroy this. When anything is hypocritical, you lose all of your credibility. If this dude was in Africa somewhere in some hut, okay, that's a fair thing to say, I guess. You hate Western civilization because you've never experienced it and you want to experience it and you're mad about it. Great. Okay, that's a fair thing to say. But this dude at Columbia University, it's sickening. People are so ungrateful nowadays. People do not understand the world that we live in. People do not understand how bad we could have it. We live in the greatest country in the world, period. We have the greatest president in the world currently. Yet people are doing this, and CNN is like, why is this a problem? Why is it that somebody is saying eradication of Western civilization? So guys, what if I told you that one of the healthiest things that you can put in your body is in your cabinet right now? It's been looked over for years. A lot of people use it to cook with, but people have just skipped over the health benefits of it, and it's pretty awesome. Dr. Gundry, he's gone over all of the facts surrounding this. And I'm not kidding, most of you probably have this in your pantry. So there's gonna be a link below the video. Go watch the video he put together. It amazed me. I'm using this stuff every day now.
He is obviously a radical who is here to foment.
No, he's not a radical at all.
Violence against the United States government.
He wants to destroy Western civilization.
Against the United States government.
You're saying eradicate Western civilization doesn't make you a radical?
Has he acted in any way that is
I think
violence
yes.
against the United States government, as you just said?
I think these protests and the violence they have fomented and the intimidation and fear against the Jewish kids on these campuses is absolutely an act of insurrection against the United States.
I don't think the American speech, Scott. That's enough.
Look,
Yes.
Look, what they have engaged in is a clear threat to the United States. And if you want the United States to be overrun by radicals the way Europe has, be my guest. But I think the president needs to stand up for the integrity of the United States.
What is the threat?
So once again, this woman's a little out of touch with reality. She's saying, well, what threat has been made against us, the American people? Well, have you ever heard of an indirect threat? Like, what if some blue-haired, pierced-faced person was sitting next to you at a coffee shop? Not necessarily to the person, but you just randomly said out loud, you know, I really would just love to just punch a blue-haired, pierced-faced person in the face right now. You're not talking to them. It's an indirect way of saying that you have a problem with them. That's the same thing with this. This is Western civilization, America. Sure, some could call Canada that, but we are that. It's just indirect, but they're still saying that they want to destroy this country. Why is that so hard for you to understand? Why is everything with CNN such a, we're going to find any way to discredit ourselves? I am mind-boggled how anyone still watches CNN. It has literally become a news channel for delusional people.
The threat of our country being, and our college campuses being overrun by radicals who are trying to run Jewish kids off of campuses and anybody else who disagrees? Yes, they are. In UCLA.
No,
in UCLA.
First of all,
they wouldn't even let them go to class.
First of all,
Columbia is an abomination.
First of all, there were violent counter-protests at UCLA that were done by Jewish organizations.
No, both sides. Anti-Semitism is a scourge on this country. Do not
it absolutely
is that it is not clear that this particular...
Well, this dude who literally has probably never been on a horse is obviously there to create interference for CNN. But isn't this wild? Whatever happened to, oh, okay, so you threaten us, whether directly or indirectly. Okay, we have a problem with you, and you're going to deal with that problem. No, that's not a discussion. You just want to threaten stuff. You just want to say whatever it is. And look, it's on everybody's mind. The fact that there may be something that happens to America with Trump in office, it's on everybody's mind. Whether it's a terrorist attack, whether it's from the outside, inside, whatever it is on everyone's mind. So when this stuff comes up, yeah, you're going to get a response and you're going to get a result that you don't like, and you should be okay with it. So go back to wherever country you came from and find a problem with what they're doing.